Turn on the cameras and turn up the music. We're live in the room, so just stop what you're doing. The other side of the ring, let me show you how I do it. 1, 2, 360, this is how I view it. I go by wrestling flow, but the next stop, the legendary Hall of Fame voice of X-PAC.
Hey everyone, welcome back to X-PAC 1, 2, 360. This is Ask X-PAC. And joining me right now is Emily May and my dear friend from Wrestling Inc., Nick Hausman.
Hey, Sean.
Hey. I know, I need a cool voice like that.
Hey, a lot, like, anyways, I was going to tell you the story about getting kicked in the throat. That's why my voice sounds like this more, but I won't tell it. So. How you doing, Nick?
I'm great, man. I mean, like, do you want to tell the story about getting kicked in the throat? I mean, I feel like you wanted to tell it, and then like
I can't. There's several details that I can't remember off the top of my head. It just sucked. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The kick sounds like it went underneath your head, not the top.
Right
of it.
there. Yeah.
Cool.
It was brutal.
See, because I was just messaging you the other day because I was watching back some Deadly Games '98 Survivor Series, and I was commenting how great your kicks look, Sean. You kick
Thank you.
well, you know.
Yeah. I used to have a fairly nice kick, or 2 or 3. I had 3 kicks. 3 kicks, a Bronco Buster, and an X Factor.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Taking everyone out.
Well, thank you, Sean, for having me, and I'm happy to meet Emily here. She's been very
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
She showed me her eye patch.
She makes the world go round around here.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Now you want an eye patch. So, Nick, you want one? I'll make one for you.
I
We
do.
can have matching.
I was telling you about my love of pirate culture. I watch The Curse of Oak Island every week, often live. So,
Hey, so anyways, how this is going to work is Emily's going to read the questions, and Nick is going to help with the follow-up questions. And so,
Yeah,
all
so
right.
we have some awesome fan questions. Thank you all for submitting. So we're gonna just jump right in.
yeah.
Let's do it.
So, first one, were you dissatisfied creatively in the WWF when you made the jump to WCW, or was it purely for the financial benefit?
Who is this from?
This is from Alex.
Alex didn't give you a last name, I take it?
No.
Anonymous Alex.
Anonymous
Well,
Alex.
You know, here's the thing about that. The money was bad at the time, but I really think if I was creatively satisfied, I would have stayed. I wouldn't even have thought about leaving. I would have just tried to, keep asking for a raise, things like that. I never even thought about leaving when creative was good. Like even like I said, even when money was tough or was bad, and it was bad at one point. Like there was a point when we used to get draws on the road, and a draw is a cash advance. And when business got bad, like $200 was the limit you could get. And sometimes if you didn't get the $200 draw, you might have got $150 on your check. So yeah, it was tough like that, especially on the Florida runs.
God. And what was your relationship though, like with Vince before you went to WCW? Do you think he saw the value in you? Did you feel like he saw, like you were going to get to creatively get to do what you wanted to do because of your relationship with Vince, or no?
So, I mean, I'm not in Vince's head, so this is just the way it seemed to me.
Yeah.
Like he saw the value in me at the level he was using me at, I mean, and some of that had to do with just, my outside the ring antics and, my substance issues and different things like that. And, I mean, if it wasn't for my, being kind of connected, the whole clique thing, may or may not have put up with a lot of that from me, to be honest with you. So but then again, like other people like had just as bad problems as I did or worse, And
Yeah.
they were used just fine creatively in my own clique. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, but it definitely took for me to leave and make my own way somewhere else to get Vince to look at me in the light that I so desperately wanted.
I got you.
And I really did. And the thing is my I had good relationship with Vince. He was always open and willing to talk to me, but I was really intimidated at one point, for quite a long time, you would have it all worked out in your head. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do when I get in there. And then once you get in there, all that shit's out the fucking window,
Yeah.
And I even told him one time, I'm like, I come in here and once I get in here, there's this, this power dynamic thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
How were you able to get through that process of
part
getting
of it,
over that?
So part of it was me telling him that.
Yeah.
And part of it was just practice, man. You go in there, it's reps. And if he was going to give me the time, I was going to go in there and lobby for this or that. And, but yeah, it was. Sometimes I still get that like that with Vince.
I was about to say, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You have to go in there and make your case from time to time with them.
I mean, even in settings like, okay, we're all at Hunter's 50th birthday party year before last.
Yeah.
Up in New Hampshire. It was amazing. Like, I don't know if you heard, freaking John Fogerty played live. John Fogerty. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me all about this. They had all the drones in the sky and stuff.
Oh my God. You would somebody driving down the street when all that was happening thought we were being invaded by aliens and they crashed into the ditch. Like no one got hurt, but it could have been bad. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank God. Anyway, you saw Vince at the party and there was
and we talked and we he was like, he was telling me how happy he was that I started taking care of myself and
good.
Everyone's throwing axes, the manly thing to do, throw the axes at the target, right?
I just had a discussion about axe throwing and how big it is right now. It's huge. Everyone wants to do that.
It was huge at Hunter's 50th, that's for sure.
They got an axe throwing place around the corner from me before the pandemic. I was going over there every other month or so. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, back to the question though.
Yeah.
Alex has here. So when you went to WCW, were you talking more to Scott and Kev about how to make the deal, or was Eric pitching you directly? Was Eric talking to you about what he liked about you, why he saw value?
No, man. I've told the story quite a bit, but I'll touch on it again. I was the first one. I was supposed to be the first one to go, but I let my contract roll over. And Barry Bloom handled all that. I didn't talk to Eric until I was supposed to debut at Sturgis. And I got there and they just sent WWF had just sent the release from Linda's office and they didn't like the wording of it. So I didn't debut.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it was a little bit later and they never changed the wording. It's just finally WCW kind of just said, okay,
I got you. Well, that Sturgis show was weird anyway.
Oh, I hated it. I loved going there. It was so cool to go there and see Mount Rushmore, all that stuff. It's just so beautiful there. But the accommodations were kind of rough, and we dressed in these they weren't even trailers, man, because the floor was graded. It was really weird. And I don't know if they were shipping container. I don't know what the fuck they were, but
container and Sturgis. That's good.
Yeah,
that's a good.
And but that would have been all just fine. But the problem is that's where I had my big singles match with Flair, and I would have loved to have had that anywhere but Sturgis because it was just a lot of casual fans, not real, into the storylines, and right in the middle of the match, they're fucking revving their motorcycles up and distracting, and so
Okay, fair enough. There you go. Just wondering, trying to see the other side of the coin.
And I actually had, I had this feeling, this energy I got from Eric a lot of time when I was there. It was a little bit standoffish. And so it's not like we didn't get along, but like I always had that in the back of my mind. It wasn't like with Vince, but it was.
Well, but you guys,
weird.
You guys are more like similarly kind of like built, and like you both have martial arts backgrounds and stuff. Like you're either gonna like really get along or want to, or like want to fight. I feel like the
and you know Eric, right? Eric probably was looking at me half the time, going, "I could kick his fucking ass."
Dude, I sort of Eric sees you and he's like, "Oh, this guy's the karate guy. I've just been out on the road like kicking ass for years right now. You know, maybe I don't know." Because again, like that's why I wanted to know.
Yeah, but Eric could do a bit of wrestling too. You know.
Sure.
He actually. So there's this one time, and Eric has told the story before, and I wasn't even there, but Kevin and Scott told me. There was heat on Sonny Ono over in Japan with the New Japan guys, like especially Hattori didn't like him, and Hattori, and you know Sonny's a karate guy. Hattori is like a Olympic level amateur wrestler at one time, and so they're all drunk, and Hattori challenges Sonny, and you know Eric stepped in and it was took up the challenge, and Eric got over on Hattori.
I don't doubt
he's a lot bigger than Masao, but Masao is an Olympic level wrestler, like I said. So
yeah, no, I don't doubt that. I mean, look, Eric's like a legit black belt. Like some of the stories he told me from his training to get that black belt sound terrifying and awful. You know, like that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. But that's why I say, like, he got his ass kicked a lot. You know, like he probably looks at you and oh, this guy's the one who throws all the martial arts kicks and stuff. I could see how he's maybe a little bit harsher critic, I guess, on you and your style than he would have been maybe with like a Hulk, where he doesn't even relate at all. You know, it's just like, oh, you're like a big fun action figure. You know,
and I also have a theory that he was around all of these big guys, not just size wise, but personality wise, with these, pretty aggressive alpha males. And like, I just feel like he kind of had to put up a bit of a front of a,
Well, how do you not? Right? Yeah, buddy. I mean, I think even Vince does that, right?
To keep people from walking all over you or whatnot,
Yeah. I talked to Gerald Briscoe like a week or so ago because he just got let go, right? And I was asking him about Vince, and I was like, what's it like? And he's like, Vince's a hard guy to be friends with because he's very shy. Like, that's such a weird, like, it's a weird thing to hear somebody who's like friends with Vince describe what that relationship is like, and like, that behind that layers of rock is got to be, some tangible, normal human, I would think.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people in those positions are so like highly creative, but are introverts, and so like the outward public persona is very different than them at home. Yeah,
when you get to, there's a lot. I mean, there's a saying that a lot of the people that seem like big time extroverts are really deep down introverts. Like, and that's what me, like, believe it or not, like I'm pretty shy, and I'm scared of talking in public, all kinds of shit, but yeah, so who knows?
Yeah. Well, we're here chatting, and we have to answer all these fan questions.
Yeah. Right. Like, you remember earlier I was saying it takes me forever to answer one question?
This is good. This is great. I love this.
This is great. I love this. We got so much history there. But we're going to move on to the next one so we can make sure we cover everything. So earlier you were speaking about all of your moves that you've had in the past. And so we have this question. How did you invent the Bronco Buster, and who hated receiving it the most?
Oof.
And that is Michael from Holland, Michigan. We have a lot of Michigan folks that sent in questions.
I'm not sure. Like, I know like the people that made it obvious they hated it the most. So, okay, first of all, the inspiration for the Bronco Buster was actually Hakushi used to do it, but he just didn't do all the extra added shit that I put in at the end. He used to do it to me when we worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just changed it up a bit, and that's that, because it's, you know.
So how did you come up with like that extra you that you put into it?
It was just my personality, and it was just the personality I was projecting, you know, as 6/6-pac, and yeah, I mean,
so Hakushi did this, but like as a move. So was he just not just hard thrust bumps to the chest? Like,
no, just one. He would land on you and then roll off.
Oh, okay. So more kind of like a senton to the corner kind of deal.
Yeah, you could see it, and you know, people talk about my match with him from SummerSlam '95 from Pittsburgh.
Okay,
and like he does it to me in that match.
Okay, so you made it multiple thrusts. You added thrusts and the hand motions.
Oh yeah.
Okay, got it. The make a move, a classic. Got it.
Yeah, and so when I was first trying to get it over, and they banned the move. They banned that shit on WCW. Lewd and lascivious. What do you call it? Standards and practices said.
Oh, really? But Vince could get away with it over in USA?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, well, at that point, by the time I got back there was a lot worse shit than that Vince was getting away with on TV.
So wait, the Turner executives, then they were a little tighter on the content than the USA people? They were...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So anyways, in WCW, the match where Scott and I dropped the tag titles to the Steiner brothers in Tampa, I go to do it to Rick Steiner, and he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't stay in the corner. And Scott even tried to set him up for me in the corner with a clothesline, drop him down, and he wouldn't do it. Until the second time, because I was going to do it once first, and then the second time I tried, he puts his foot up and hits me in the balls. Yeah. So we just went right into the ball. Puts his foot up, hit me in the balls.
How do you feel when you see it done really badly on the indies, right? Because like the Bronco Buster I feel like it gets pulled out all the time on the indies.
Yeah, and it became popular amongst a lot of the women.
It did, yeah. For sure, man. A lot of people have attempted it.
Yeah, and Rey Mysterio,
right?
Yeah. Shit. Ask me that again.
I was just asking you how you feel when you see it done on the indies by other people who maybe don't do it like as well.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Is there someone that you see do it now that you really enjoy? That you're like, you
barely see it. People do it here and there, but like
here and there.
Mainly like the things that people do, like a tribute to me, is like Ali doing the X Factor. It's like a bunch of different variations. You know? Well,
and to maybe get a little too deep on this, but you think in the wake of like the speaking out stuff, like it's like even less likely to be seen and done now, because like the penis plex was like the biggest thing in the world, and now I mean you couldn't do that.
I think it's different. I think it's different. Yeah, I just think people like they got used to it, and it's kind of kind of funny, or people. I mean, because when I got now. Fast forward to me showing up my first night back in WWE after WrestleMania 14. And after we do the big, return in-ring promo, with, telling Hulk if he stops short, Eric will go up his ass, that whole thing.
Sure.
Later on, the Outlaws, they won the tag titles from Mick Foley and Terry Funk.
I recall.
In the cage, right? And we came in and we beat the shit out of everyone. And I went to do that on Mick, and like he rolled over and he gave me his back. He wouldn't take it. I mean, later on he took it just fine.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, like he writes about it in his book.
Yeah. Well, and of course I was there at the time it went wrong. That's how that's actually one of our first encounters.
One of the first time it went wrong.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was bad.
Yeah. So Nick was my manager. Were you my manager? No, you were the manager of Jay's.
I was Jay's manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was you told to kept. Yeah. I've never had a man look me in the face and be like, kick me, my asshole's bleeding. Can I say that? Like, I don't know. I just had to sit there and kick you until like, I don't know, you got your breath about you to go take that, boomstick lariat or whatever.
And then you have to look at it too.
No, you wanted me to hold the towel in between your cheeks, and I told you that you were a very good friend, but I couldn't do that for you.
Hey, so when we got off the phone, and people bear with me on this. I was after we got off the line the other night, Nick.
Yeah,
I had to tell Emily about my version of the Jeffrey Tubin.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, with you. When I pissed in the Solo Cup.
Oh yeah,
I heard the story.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it happened.
And I'm actually doing the interview with Nick, and he's texting me, "What the fuck's the matter with you?"
I saw it. Did I see it? Junk? Yeah, I did. But you know what? You know, a lot of people have at this point. So, you know, I don't feel special. I'm not insulted. It was it caught me off guard. It definitely caught me off guard.
I was like, I didn't want to interrupt the interview, and I didn't even think that the camera was on it. Like,
well, it was before. I don't think I recorded it. I think it was before I had started.
We weren't using the video.
No. I think we were just doing audio, and maybe like I think you requested that we be connected by video so we could see each other to talk, and then you pissed in my face,
like right there.
I mean, Nick, that's part of the bonding experience. You know,
John and I have bonded. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know, nothing sexual, by the way. I want to make that very clear. So,
all right, should we move on to the next question?
I like how you so we're like, that's right. Yeah, sure.
That's right. Yes.
You say so, Nick.
Yeah, whatever. You know,
you guys have to deal with that on your own time, you guys. No.
Sorry, Emily. We don't want to bro out to her. Ladies in the room.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like you guys are having a bromance right now. I feel like.
It's been a while since we chat.
All right. So the next question is from Giovanni. And his question is, did you like the X Factor stable? And apart from Albert and Justin, were there others that were considered to join?
It's easy for you to say, Emily. No. Yeah, when I read the question earlier, so I want to answer this because there's a little bit of a story behind this.
Yeah, we want to know
because before we actually, or no, I think it was either the first day before PJ came out and before Justin Credible came out and interfered in my. I had a four-way match with. It was a hell of a match. I forgot I even had the damn thing. For the Intercontinental title, it was myself, Jericho, Eddie, and Benoit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and they sent him out in the middle of it. It was weird, but because I still didn't win. So
yeah.
Anyways, Paul Heyman actually pitched to me, and I think he pitched to creative too, but he pitched to me. He was really hard selling me on, you, PJ, and Lance Storm as the new Impact players. And I just didn't want to be the new anything, and I didn't want to be a part of somebody else's stable from ECW.
Right.
Totally. I would have been just fine with, with PJ and Lance on it because they were a great team in ECW. Mm-hmm. It's just I just didn't think it wasn't appealing to me as far as being part of their stable.
Yeah,
it was mine. so it was first of all it was just PJ and I, and but I really loved Matt Bloom. Mm-hmm. I just saw a ton in him, and so like I picked him to be our big heavy, and he was great at it. He was excellent. He listened. He picked up like everything I said. He was so coachable, and he got really good really quick. I mean, they actually wanted him to go over on Taker.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't happen, obviously, but yeah.
When?
While he was with me.
They were wow, that would have been big for X.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah.
And now he, of course, is like the lead trainer down at
At
development.
the PC, yeah.
He runs this. Yeah, he's in charge of the system down there, and he's perfect for that because he's so level-headed and like just he, he gives a shit about everyone there. He really takes a personal interest in each one of those people down there.
Very cool. And so, and extra members, I take it then, like since. I guess it didn't really get to find the theme. It probably could have no extra member conversation or no.
No, but people, and a lot of people hated the theme song, and I thought it was pretty good myself.
A banger, brother.
Yeah.
Uncle Cracker that did your theme song.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've told the story before, but since it kind of fits into this question, Shane McMahon comes up to me one day and he goes, "Yeah, we were thinking about having Red Hot Chili Peppers do your music." And I'm like, "No, I want Uncle Cracker."
Wow.
Shane's just like,
but you were friendly with that crew because Cracker was with Rock, right?
Yeah.
And like you were very close with
Joe C.
Yeah, Joe C, right? So that whole crew was like part of what you were rolling with at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
I used to do things like that. I used to take, I used to push back on just for the sake of doing it. Like it was so stupid. Oh, I remember one time, and Shane used to come to me a lot and like try to, be my Vince kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was where my relationship was with Shane. And like he came up to me and he's like, "So they were trying to make plans for WrestleMania. We were thinking you and Jericho for the IC title at Mania." And I'm like, "Oh no, I want to finish up my program with Kane, do an exploding bomb match." And it's like, "What the fuck?"
So you did that pretty much every time you talked to him, right? You just like went the complete opposite.
Not every time, but way too much.
You're a
too much.
You're a compulsive shitster, is what you are, Sean.
Fuck.
Like you can't. I mean, you've chilled here quite a bit as you become an elder statesman with that beautiful beard of yours. But man, you were a shitster, dude.
Yeah, I just wanted to do my way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit you on a couch right now, talk about your childhood, figure out why that is maybe a little bit.
Oh, I was so bad.
Oh my god! I feel like this stems. From childhood.
I didn't fucking listen to anyone. My mom, my grandparents. I would just do whatever the fuck I wanted.
I know you would.
I was like 6 years old, and I'd be like, they'd find me 2 miles away from home all the fucking time.
Oh my gosh!
And they would like anytime I would be threatened with punishment, they would never follow through. So that made it even worse.
Oh well, there you go. That's why you keep doing it.
Their fault.
You never had any guardrails. That's absolutely what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wonderful.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I had no discipline until I started doing taekwondo.
Well, at least you found it.
I mean, I got some, but
I was about to say, was that before or after you super glued the smoking guns cowboy hat to their head or whatever the fuck that story was?
What are you talking about?
Didn't you do like a super glue bit with the smoking gun cowboy hat or whatever?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with.
That's why I was saying, because it was a joke. Because you obviously you weren't showing discipline. You super glued a man's hat to his head.
There were two people.
I did it to two people.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Well, so speaking of doing things on your own and on your own terms, so you said a year ago, we're going to get to this next question. So you said a year ago that you considered yourself retired unless a hypothetical WrestleMania match came up.
Yeah.
And so Jason is wondering what that match would be for you and then who would be the right opponent.
There's a lot of folks out there like that, would fit that bill of right opponent for something like that. But yeah, I had a few like some of the last matches I had, I didn't have the best experience. Like for instance, this is kind of going off into weeds a little bit. But my very last match at WrestleMania weekend, when I decided I was done, it was a 6-man, me, Hurricane Helms, and Liger on Liger's farewell tour. And it didn't go how I wanted. Like some of the spots in the finish got screwed up, and I blew a gasket, and I didn't handle it well. And, I must have been a real motherfucker to deal with at that point. So I was just like, if I'm going to be like that, man, I shouldn't be having matches, because I mean, it's these guys are doing the best they can. They're not, not as experienced, and fuck, man, I'm taking this shit way too serious. But that's how I'm used to doing it,
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I had hepatitis C for a long time, and that kept me, I tested positive for it when I came back to TNA and was doing that stuff with Kevin and Scott, and Hogan came in with Eric and all of that. So, after that, I wasn't good. I couldn't get cleared in states with, certain states with athletic commissions, and, and so TNA and WWE couldn't really have me in, matches, but so I would just do little matches like that. And, nothing serious, no blood, whatever. But,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm cured, everyone. Yeah. Like I just this year I got cured because I finally, no, I never have.
Wow.
I hadn't mentioned it publicly. But yeah, it costs $100,000 for the treatment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's $1,000 a pill, one pill every day. Yeah.
And are you feeling okay? Like, were there major
I
side
feel
effects
great.
or anything like that?
Nothing. I didn't even know. Didn't feel anything. So yeah, and that's what kept me, some people are going, how come he never came back, or and so that's the reason. But now that's clear. And so now I'm going to get my knee fixed. I've had a torn ACL since before the turn of this decade. Like I was in Mexico, still living in Mexico. I tore my ACL. It was like 2008, something like that.
Okay. And
so I'm going to get that fixed. And so sometime next year, I'll put myself on the market, have a few more matches. People talk about, hey, you got another run left in you. And, everyone thinks they have one more run left in them. Like, I don't care if a dude's in a wheelchair. He swears to God he has another run left in him. But any run that I would have to be a sprint, because I just
how many matches do you think you got in you? You think you could do a year regular schedule or no?
No. I mean, I could, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
I probably got half a dozen good hard matches in me.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, dude. Good for you, Sean.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when I tore the ACL, like I've had some really good matches. Even with that, like my match with El Generico from King of Trios, several years ago, like I had my knee taped up. That's torn ACL in that, and, it's hard for me to cut angles. So like hitting the tackle and then taking a right, against the ropes and things like that, or leapfrogging is very difficult for me. So I just want to get that fixed. It's not like I can't have matches with it, but
well,
like if I'm going to do that lasso run or whatever, I want all that to be.
I don't want to fantasy book like your last matches. But I mean,
Nick's ready. You're ready to go.
I will say, obviously, AEW is the hot thing, but it's no secret, the Clicks relationship, and I could see, 1, 2, 3 kids, Sean Waltman, X-PAC, whatever you want to call yourself, helping a couple of these NXT guys that you really enjoy, have some great bouts down there, man. I think that's a given if you're good to go.
And I actually even thought about player coach, being in 6 mans with some guys, and, just being able to tag in and out. And and just help direct traffic and, that type of thing. So
Cool to think about.
yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to be really excited about this, and I know you have to heal and kind of get things settled, but that's going to be amazing if it all works out, right? Nick's ready to book it.
I did. Well, you know me. Give me the book.
All right. So speaking of more matches, we're going to get to the next question. And the next one's about Rhea Ripley. So do you think Rhea Ripley's loss at WrestleMania to Charlotte stalled her momentum? And if you booked this, would you have booked it differently? And if you would, how would that in your head work out? And that's from Ryan from Western Australia.
Western Australia. It must be Perth or like somewhere near Perth. I love Perth. Well, yeah, it did. It did stall her momentum, in my opinion. And and I just wouldn't have booked the match. Like, we have this philosophy that you don't book the match without having to finish booked and knowing whether or not you can get that finish to happen. And I just, I think that I just wouldn't have booked the match because I totally understand where Charlotte was coming from. And, people can be like, oh, she should have put it over, but like, it's really competitive, our industry. Like, and Charlotte's still at the top of her game. And I can understand why she would want to fight to keep her position or however. I totally understand that. It's the boss's job or the booker's job to get her to do the job. But obviously they agreed with her. And so, but the thing is Rhea Ripley's a special talent. And so like they could get the momentum back again.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think, I agree with you. I think that there was a stutter step, but I mean, to see where she's at right now, I don't think she's too far off the mark from where she was a year ago.
I would totally agree with you. I'm just saying at the time it did put a little speed bump in her road.
Yeah, I think it helped. It made her kind of figure out where she was going to next, because like going against Charlotte, like where do you go from there, And so right now I feel like she has a good direction. She kind of found her footing again.
Yeah.
I love her and Raquel Gonzalez, man. It's nice to see, these women's with different body sizes like getting a chance to tango in there and do some things that you didn't usually get to see from that division. Raquel's another one of those where like I see her, she reminds me a lot of China with the posing and the way she keeps herself.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Raquel a few weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was telling Emily and Jimbo that when I was down on one of my coaching weeks in NXT last year, I knew Rachel. Is it Rachel or Raquel?
Raquel.
I knew Raquel as doing this like female Stan Hansen gimmick. She had these like jean shorts on and cowboy boots, and I think she had a freaking lasso. She came out with a cowboy hat, and she was doing that, and she was working like Hansen or whatever, but it just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And like she was promising and she had a lot of potential, but man, I seen her, I was telling them I seen her come into William Regal and I having sushi, and she came in and I didn't even recognize her after she, changed her look and started, changing her diet and everything. So yeah, I'm happy for her.
Can I ask you just a random question, just since we're talking Performance Center NXT stuff? What's your take on that report that like Keith Lee and Otis and a couple guys are getting asked to go back to the Performance Center? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, people that were following all like the behind the scenes stuff back in the Attitude Era, like after Big Show came in, making like the biggest, he was getting $1 million a year,
right?
Guaranteed. They did that to him, and he's in the main event. So like, it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it kind of feels like shit, or it can, or whatever. But like, I mean, long term, I wouldn't read anything into that.
No. Okay.
Now you might hear like, oh, you know, he doesn't see anything in him or whatever. Like you hear things like that. I don't know, but
I mean,
but
because you,
I wouldn't use this as just going, oh my God, Keith Lee's doomed, because that Vince gets those, you know, he gets on a tangent like that. And,
yeah,
you know, I mean, it could have been just one little thing he saw out there.
yeah, because you know, you've been to the PC, you've helped, you know, helped other talent. Do you feel like they're just going back to like hone in on a specific thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that, you know, I mean, even like if someone's been out of action for a while, like I remember when I came back from one of my injuries, they sent me to Heartland Wrestling for a week to Les Thatcher's in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And so, you know, you don't want to do it, but you kind of, it helps.
Okay.
It helps.
Okay.
I got to have a really good match with Jamie. Oh shit.
Dundee?
No. He was one of like the
Noble. Jamie
Noble. Boom. Sorry.
Listing Jamie's till we hit it. Okay, great. I got it.
Thanks, Nick.
He was really good.
Somewhere up here, you know.
Yeah. And so, you know, back, you know, I actually had that when I was working with Charlotte's dad with Nate, I was like lobbying to go over on him, like, hey, you know, like he's holding me back or whatever. But I don't blame him one bit for not wanting to do the job. Like his nature boy Ric Flair, but you can't blame me either.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Yeah, you got to.
Thanks so much, Sean. That was amazing for answering all of the fan questions.
We did it.
Yay!
Yeah. People like make the mistake of thinking that, we could do like, I don't know, we can get a lot of questions in. I don't know how many we get in, like 5 questions in an hour. That's about right.
Yeah.
They were good. Yeah. Good quality questions and quality answers.
Yeah. And then I had to go and let my laptop die on me. So
what are you talking about?
If everyone notices an edit point in there, it's because I fucked up. You didn't plug my computer in.
Anything, Sean.
I always do.
What?
You haven't seen enough of my shows. I always spill the beans on that shit.
Yes, everyone's getting a behind the scenes look.
Because plus I want to give, you know, I want people to understand it was my fuck up that you have to edit. So, all right, everyone. Hey, I appreciate everyone that sent questions in. Thank you, everyone. If I didn't get to your question, it was either because I didn't want to answer it or we just didn't have time.
And you'll never know.
No, but actually, a lot of these questions we're going to get to on the next set of Ask X-PAC.
That's very nice.
Hey, Nick, thank you so much, man.
Hey, brother. I'm always here. I like talking wrestling with you.
I love talking wrestling with you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
thank you, Nick. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone. Or good afternoon, good morning, whatever. Bye.